Welcome to another episode of Raise a Glass Talk Show. I'm excited to be here myself. We're going to be sharing conversation, rants, and bants about everyday happening from people to your health to your happiness to even your relationship. Once again, my name is Seun Odegbami. You can call me the storyteller, and I'm here with the delightful, beautiful Priscilla Amadi.
Ooh. Yes, we are here today for another episode of Raise a Glass. And of course, you know me as your service culture evangelist, and we'll be, sipping some tea, some wine, do what we know how to do best. But whatever happens, do not leave us, okay? You are about to come in and listen to some amazing things. Do not leave here. Make sure you stick to the end of this conversation because it's going to be piping hot. Right, you?
Absolutely, absolutely. And don't forget to subscribe, click the button, subscribe, leave a comment for us.
Yes, tell us how you feel. I mean, about the views that you're about to hear, your point of view, what you think. And if you even have some questions, that would be amazing too. Would love to hear it as well, okay?
All right. Again, we have another interesting guest with us.
Yes, we always bring them
Yeah,
hot.
definitely. And I'm sure that you guys are not ready to hear some of the interesting perspective we would have. I mean, there's some hot conversations that we were having before. Before.
I just feel like we've already had a show before the show, but that's what happens when you're in the studio, y'all. But don't worry, we still have more where that came from.
Exactly, exactly. And I'm here with Tito, and Tito is going to come and share a lot of interesting perspective to us. He's ready to shatter all the grounds or all the information that you already know before.
He promised he's gonna deliver.
So thank you so much, Tito. You give us a little bit of introduction.
Hi everyone, my name is Otito, aka Tito, and I would like to call myself a literary figure in the making, of course. But at the time while I'm still climbing, I could still give my controversial takes and you know try to see where that gets me. I mean, if I don't make it being a writer, I could make it being a controversial person. So anything works, right? So yeah.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much, Tito, for joining us today as one of our guest speakers. And before we go further, we want to talk about what we call hot takes. Now, hot take section is taking a particular topic that has been trending and people are talking about. Let's have your viewpoint on this because there are many things that people say about it. And today's one talks about um, a month ago, right? You borrowed $2,000 from a friend,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Now his child's birthday was a week ago.
Yeah,
So
My
instead
God.
of giving the money back to your friend like you
yeah.
should, you now used it to buy a gift for his child. But now your friend is calling you back and he wants the money back. What's your game plan?
He's coming back for his money.
Yes, he wants his money back.
Like I paid you your money, man.
What did he say?
I paid him his money.
Excuse me?
You paid him his money?
Yeah, of course I did with the gift, right?
No, 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 no.
Oh, what else was I supposed to do?
When the money was given
Yeah.
to you, it was money.
Yeah,
And it was not like, oh, you asked for $5 million, then I went to the supermarket and bought you a car. I told you, this car is worth $5 million. Here's your $5 million.
right.
It doesn't make no sense, bro. Did I just enter?
But the thing
I'll stop watching those in it movies.
now here's the thing.
But the thing is, I mean, how did you pay back the money?
So
Well,
what's
let me hear what Tito has to say.
what's the value of the gift I got for the friend hypothetically
For his child.
for the
For
child?
his child.
Well, what's the value of the gift I got?
I don't know.
The value of the gift, let's assume in this scenario, the value of the gift is the amount that you were owing.
Well, I've paid him off, right?
Like I say,
Your
yeah,
child is happy. That's
You took a
something.
loan.
Oh,
You
so
took a
what,
loan.
man? So what? I've paid you off. Your child is happy.
It's
You're
not the same
happy.
thing. You can't.
Oh my goodness.
That's about it, man. I've paid you. Like, oh, what are you bothering me for,
You
man?
took a loan, so you have to return it the same way you took it.
Well, how about you give me back the gift I gave you, right?
I mean,
It's
you
a
gave it to
gift. You can't
child.
collect it back.
You didn't give the child, the person that collected the loan, the gift. You gave it to the child. You felt good about yourself. I think it's more like you're trying to make the person that gave you the loan to pay for your feel good mechanism. Like you just went to the shopping, you felt good, and then you not tell the person, oh, by the way, that thing I gave you was your payback loan.
I didn't feel good about shit. That stuff was fucking intentional. I did it. I did it to pay back, man. And if you're telling me to give me back my money, well, the child should give me back a gift.
It's a gift.
It's a gift.
You
You
don't
can't
take back
collect
a
it back.
gift unless the person wants to give it back to you. But you don't. I don't think that legally you can do that.
I take back gifts, nigga.
Legally.
Oh, you've not
You
met
can't
some
take back
serious,
gifts.
serious. Well, will I say
If
people
you
that
if,
know
you-
their
if you
rights.
buy a car for your girlfriend
Yeah.
as a gift and you said the category this is a gift,
Gift.
So in whose
can't
name is
collect
he
it back.
registered?
It doesn't matter
it
who.
doesn't matter. It's a gift.
So long as there's a recording or evidence that it was presented as a
As a
gift,
gift.
it's gone. Oh, you be
So be careful who you are giving
know-
gift to.
no, it's not just that. Like he's been getting away with a lot of giving back my gift. Tito has been getting away with it because what the hell? Even an engagement ring is a gift.
What?
Yes,
I
because
can't collect it back.
You can't.
I'll cut off your fingers then.
Well, if the engagement ring belongs to your great grandmother, and
Yeah.
maybe it's being passed from generation to generation.
Yeah.
No, like, I feel like-
That's like a clause.
Yeah.
That's a clause because
need
if you
to
give someone,
read the
that means that
legal
you're not
part.
doing again and then you collect your. That's a clause because it's passed down from generation to
I don't
generation.
understand.
Yes, so I want to believe that kind
Well,
of
I've
ring
seen.
you can
Hold
collect
up.
it.
I've seen judgments like where you say something like the police say something along the lines of the lady deceived the man, collecting his gift, so she's supposed to give everything back to him.
Okay, maybe if under false.
Okay, under
Maybe-
false
maybe
pretense.
under false pretense,
Yeah,
or
it's
maybe
it's
you-
established that
exactly,
it was given.
established that it
There
was-
has to be a
oh,
lot of establishing going on.
And that person has to show
I think-
that
I think
it
I
was
even need
under
to read
false
up-
pretense or
I
something
need
like
to read
that.
up more on the legal.
Because I
think we
don't,
should have a
because
lawyer
I
here
don't,
one
I
day.
don't get it. If I give you something and I say I'm not doing it again, man, give me back what I gave you, man.
No.
I gave you that stuff because of the way I was feeling for you. And if I'm not feeling that way anymore, then you should give me back what I gave you.
Oh, so
It's only right. It's only, of course, yes.
I don't think that it makes any sense that you collect loan from someone, yeah, and then the person now has a child or children or fancy or whatever it is that came into your mind, right? And then you now choose to gift another person affiliated to the loan giver.
I'm looking for ways not to pay back the loan. Don't you get it?
Now the truth is out. Now the truth is out.
I'm looking
but
for the
then-
best ways that
I'm sorry,
I don't
bro.
get to pay back the
A
loan.
loan is a debt.
So if I've given the gift to the child is not going to want to lose that gift, right? So I've paid back my loan. The child is happy, you're happy. If you
But
want,
it's not the same value. Remember, money has value. If you bought a gift for the child, the value is not the same again. Like for me, who loaned the money out to my friend, the value is not the same again.
well, it's intrinsic for the child and he's happy, so it's the
And
same.
he's happy, so
yeah,
my child is happy,
Yeah,
I'm happy.
there's
So
no
what
there's
if-
no value for happiness,
Okay,
right?
this child now that you're latching onto and you're trying to use it as an excuse not to pay loan, what if they do DNA test and it's not this child?
Well, that's not my problem anyway. Right? That ain't my problem, right?
But it's true, it's not his problem. anymore.
which is even to my own credit,
Because
because
he can even collect the gift.
no,
No, he can't.
It's to my
No,
credit.
if it's not, if
Wait,
it's
hold
not
up.
legally
Hold
child.
up.
No.
It's to my credit. Just
It's a
hold up
gift
on that
given
thought.
to a child.
It's to my credit because his attention is going to move to the woman who gave him the false child, and I'll be chilled. Don't
They
you
are
get
just-
it?
See, but it doesn't make any sense. I mean, if you had the money to pay back the loan, why go and buy equal amount of gifts? You can't even hold up in court that you didn't have the money because you literally went and bought a gift worth exactly the cost of the loan given to you. So
Yeah.
that's establishing that you actually had the money. Your choice of decision was really poor.
Yeah, by that logic, why does Trump avoid tax?
That does Trump.
I'm a Nigerian.
Evade tax.
I'm a Nigerian.
Exactly.
Every rich person, or
Why
every
do-
wealthy person
why
is always
do-
looking for a way to cut costs.
Exactly.
They didn't get rich by not knowing how to cut costs.
Exactly. So I'm
Yes.
looking for ways to cut costs,
They're
man.
always looking for opportunities. A
I'm
rich
looking
or
for
wealthy person
an
will always
opportunity
be
not to
looking
But
pay
you're
you
not
back your
cutting
loan.
for- But no, that is
No,
deceit.
that's
Oh,
exactly-
that's deceit,
That's
right?
deceit, that's
but
different.
rich people,
Deceit is
rich
different.
people not paying tax. That's not deceit, right?
That's looking for opportunities.
Right. So opportunities are inherently not
Okay,
deceitful.
now
or,
let's use your analogy.
Yeah.
Right? Rich people not paying tax. But then they now go ahead and gift the same Nigerian government the equal amount of the tax that they ought to pay.
they go ahead to give the Nigerian government. That's because they're in cahoots with the Nigerian government, man.
I mean, you brought out a scenario. I'm trying to liken it to the previous scenario that we're analyzing here.
Yeah.
Which is the reason where the example came out from. So let's just say the rich person that didn't want to pay tax now went ahead to, let's say the person was supposed to pay tax of like 2 million. And that's me being very conservative. And then now go ahead and buy a gift worth 2 million to give to the federal government who refused to pay tax.
Yeah, he's paid his tax, right? Isn't that payment of tax? Yeah, it's paid its tax already, so that's still
You
payment.
are going to be picked up by Federal Inland Revenue Service.
Real.
You will still
If
have to pay your tax.
if I have them in my
You
pocket,
just had
nobody's
money
picking
to
me up,
that. You
right?
just had, well, that's
Exactly.
another scenario entirely.
I mean, if I give the child the gift, and the child is sentimental about the gift, he's definitely not going to want to lose it. So I've won the child to myself.
And you can carry the child home while you're at it.
No, I'm not going to carry a child
Pay
home.
back your loan.
I've paid my loan already.
Yeah, so thank you so much for sharing your thoughts, everyone. And that brings us to today's, topic. And we're talking about money, just as we mentioned, money.
Da-da-da-da.
And today's topic is talking about, can money really buy happiness?
Interesting.
Can money really buy happiness? When it comes to money, I for one think that money can give you happiness, right? It's a tool. Let's just say it's a tool.
Yeah.
So it depends on how you want to now use it. You can either use it for your own happiness, or you can use it for something good. You can use it for something bad. But I think that a lot of people think that, I think maybe it's the people that don't have it. I think that it doesn't have its goodness, or it can't make you happy, or maybe because they've not tasted what it means to be wealthy or have money. But there's one very popular verse that a lot of people talk about, which is in 1 Timothy 6:10, that talks about the love of money is the root of all evil. Right? So what's your own viewpoint to when people say the love of money is the root of all evil?
Now I'm going to have to deviate from my earlier stance, because this is very much an introspective question, and it forces me to think. So, what is money? And what is evil? And how do you put that love in the middle? Money gives you access, right? What is evil? Evil is the desire to see people go through pain, even when it is unnecessary. So if you join that, that means money giving you the power to be able to make people go through pain, even when it's unnecessary. So when the Bible tells you that you should be careful of that, it means that when you have the tool to make people do your every bidding, then you should be very careful. Because if you're not careful, you could send them to hell without knowing, while also going to hell yourself. And you won't know you're in hell because you have money. And money covers you from thinking. So yeah, that's my...
If I have from wealthy and I have money,
Yeah.
right, I would not think about heaven or earth. Nothing. It's not my business.
I'm talking from a
right?
very...
No. I get, and I'm trying to explain, and I know that there are a lot of wealthy people and a lot of tech people, even in tech industry right now, that are very wealthy,
Yeah.
right? They are atheists. They don't care about heaven or earth. They have money. Things are going on for them. Why do they need to appreciate heaven?
I think you need to
and
understand
hell?
the...
Why do they need to appreciate heaven and hell? Because their life is smooth for them.
I think you need to
So they
understand...
can use the money that they have to control people.
Yeah, I think you need to understand my interpretation of heaven and hell here. I don't believe heaven and hell are metaphysical places like the Bible makes us think.
Okay.
I think that heaven is here, hell is here. If you have money in Nigeria, you're in heaven. If you don't have money in Nigeria, you're in hell. That for me is my understanding of what heaven and hell is as it applies in Nigeria. What I'm trying to say is that when you have money, you have the power to be in heaven. And I'm talking about a metaphorical heaven here in Nigeria as it is in the world.
Okay.
And when you don't have money, you are in hell. And when somebody is in heaven, you can make somebody in hell do anything you want to do. So that's why the Bible tells you that you should be careful. I'm talking from a very metaphorical aspect.
Okay.
I'm trying to use heaven and hell as metaphors to explain the places where people go to when they have money versus when they don't have money. And you might say, well, what do you care about being in hell? Or what does an atheist care about being in hell? Well, you're looking at it from a biblical perspective, right? Because you should care about being in hell. If you are in in an unreciprocated relationship where you're doing everything for your partner to show the person that you actually do love the person very much, and the person just doesn't care, that's hell. That's hell. Because you're right there in front of somebody, giving your all to the person, because vulnerability is a precondition for love. And so you have become vulnerable. That means you've opened up yourself to be attacked. That means, in many ways, you're already in hell. So you need somebody who is going to match what you have become for that very person, to be able to remove you from that place that you have gone to, so that you both can be in some, again, metaphorical heaven.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from in terms of talking about the heaven where we are presently
Yeah,
in
yeah,
and the earth we are presently, saying the
yeah,
fact that if you have money right now,
yeah,
you're in
yeah,
heaven, and
yeah.
then you can also control people's reaction because you
Exactly,
have that money. Okay,
exactly.
nice. But Priscilla, I don't know. There's something I've noticed, and I've noticed that when it comes to money, it changes people's morality, right? Like, how they begin to behave, right? Just have they mentioned, right? So how do you, how do you visualize that when people say, oh, when you have money, it changes you entirely?
Um, for me, I think that money gives, when people feel like they have money, it gives them confidence. It gives them an idea of independence, right? And with independence comes the true unveiling. So I don't think it's the money that changed the person, in my own opinion. I just think that it was there all along, but maybe not as pronounced because the person didn't have the money to blow it out of proportion, right? And again, the actions, the way people act when they are independent is different from when people act when they are dependent, right? So when you move over from dependency to independence, then you become more freer in your actions, right? And that's why you even see countries clamoring for independence. That doesn't mean that they know what they're doing, but that's tough for another day. So it's, for me, I think that the money, money does not bring out one new character from the bush or something. It just exposes, that's the word, exposes who you truly are. And I've seen on various platforms and even on social media where people say one of the best ways to know people's true character is when they have money. When they are dependent on you and they don't have money, whatever they show you is not the real thing. They are tolerating you. They are just, in Yoruba they say dobaling,
Yeah,
until
yeah.
they are independent enough to show you who they really are. So
So more like it's a personality
it's
issue.
a
It's a
personality.
personal thing.
Yeah.
So the money just amplifies
Who you
what
really,
they really are
exactly.
at the core.
And you see that person that has money, when the person gets to a situation or a scenario, okay, let's say now, why I say it's a personality thing, and it furthermore shows people's inability to be truthful to themselves, is you see that person that feels like in his adubo, in his area, he has arrived, so he becomes the lunatic of the area because he has some money. Move that person from that area to somewhere that people are bigger than him. He will default back to that pre I had money in my adubo attitude. He will calm down and then try to be dobaling or try to be loyal,
Because there are people richer than him,
because the people, he has not conquered that region yet.
and there are
So
also people richer than himself.
in
Also, that,
that
yeah,
new
yeah,
region,
yeah.
do you understand?
That's very true. And this brings me to talking about money. Growing up, many things I heard about, especially when it comes to like in church, money, giving tithes. God is not, how will I call it? It's not.
God is not MMM, right?
It's not MMM. It's
God
not a
is not
money
MMM.
doubling agency.
It's not CJ
So when
Mavrodi.
you now go and sell your car, right, and donate the car to the church, you now say,
Yeah.
oh, in the next 2 months I've donated my legs also. In the next 2 months I'll buy a Maybach. That's your expectation. It's not a money doubling agent. In fact, if you give that church the car, it has gone and it has gone. If you are not working or if you are still earning 200k, you will still continue earning your
God
200k.
is not
Your
sporty bets.
Maybach will not. God is not sporty, but your Maybach will not come. But there is a notion that if you keep giving and keep putting in your all and putting your everything, you are going to get double back.
And that's my
and it will
problem
now
with-
be a child, because now everybody that is going to church is going with expectation.
Exactly.
If there's an expectation that because I'm attending church every single day, I mean choir, sorry, choir people.
that's
I'm in
fine.
choir. I go to church Mondays, Wednesdays, Sundays. I'm everywhere. That means that I should be making money. But the truth is, there are principles and there are laws for making money. If you don't follow those principles and laws for making money, you will not make money.
I mean, some
You
of
will not
some
be
of the
rich.
richest people in the world are non-Christians. Let me say something that I feel like. No, I feel like I do think that the unique selling point of Christianity is salvation, and not wealth.
Yeah, it is. It is salvation.
It's salvation.
But
That's what it
salvation
was
is
supposed to be.
that's
Yeah.
that's the good news.
Yeah.
But salvation is not what people need now.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. Nobody wants to listen to.
I'm hungry,
to,
for
to
goodness
the whole
sake. I'm
message
hungry.
to the whole
I'm
message
not-
of when you die you're going to go to heaven and be with Jesus Christ. Nigga, fuck that, man. I'm hungry, man.
I'm
I
hungry.
I
I'm
need to
hungry
eat,
too.
man.
Okay, so now when you now go to that money doubling agency, aka church, that they will tell you that if you bring money, you collect money, and then you get that money, would you? A lot of people become happy.
Yes.
Can money truly buy
They become happy, and the fact that some people come to give testimony and it validates some of these things, because you hear some people's testimony and they say, "Oh, I gave my last."
And the money I did not expect came into
and,
my
and the
account.
money I did not expect came into my
Is that
account.
not-
So you that are sitting there in the community, you'll be like, ah,
But that's an ethical problem as well, because if money you did not expect came into your account and you did not follow up to find out where that source of money came from, it means that as a Christian you have failed.
no, it could be that, you know, when you're giving testimony, you don't give out all the details.
But
So
that's-
the person might not
Exactly,
tell
yeah.
you whether they had
Yeah,
a job
yeah,
that
whether
was
they-
pending
yeah,
since
true,
last
true.
year.
This
Let me-
doctrine of money and pushing kind of Christianity and tying it to happiness, because they always tie it to happiness. They make you feel like, oh, if you are poor, you're not Christian enough. And then people now go to church to be so Christian that they cannot have money. You know, and it's, for me, in my own opinion, it doesn't sit down well with me as a Christian, because again, the basic principles of making money are there. And we had to unlearn a lot of things to be able to become better.
So I'm going to share a personal story here. So like I established, I write, yeah. So I noticed that I was having some back pain on my lower back. And a thought came to my head. Usual indoctrination as a kid. Pray to God is going to solve your challenge. I said, no. Fuck no, I'm not praying to God. I know the cause of my challenge. I'm not sitting down appropriately.
Posture.
Yeah, my posture is bad. Why do I need to pray to God to correct my back pain? If I'm praying to God to correct my back pain, then maybe I have tried every possible means, ameliorative means I can use to, help myself, and it's not worked. And then I have accepted that what I'm going through is perhaps something spiritual, and so I have to connect with that which is the very divine to help me get rid of that pain I feel. And what did I do? I didn't pray. I walked out. I did some back exercises and I stretched and I said, yeah, fuck this. By the morning I should be fine. And in the morning I was fine. I was like, yeah, you see, I don't need to pray. So it's the same thing for the person who lies down on his bed and says, God, send me 2 million. Nigga, fucking wake up, man. God ain't sending you shit. It's not sending you nothing, bro. Realize this very early. Stop letting your pastor deceive you. If you give 1 billion naira in church and think that God, he ain't blessing you for shit if you don't put in the work. Work hard, bro. It's supposed to be tough. It's supposed to be hard. Work hard. Try to follow the right principles. And, maybe pray when you've seen that everything is not working hard for you. But you shouldn't be praying. Like you don't put the cart before the horse, right? I think that's how we said, right? Yeah, you don't put the cart before the horse. You should be able to put in the work. And then when you've put in the work, then you tell God, yo, see, my nigga, I've tried. Why don't you come in and help me? Right? You do
That's
know.
why you
Okay,
still have
hold
to
on,
pray.
hold on. You guys have made this now become about church and Christian. I thought
No,
you
we're
were
still talking about-
Harmony by
Oh,
man.
No, we're
wait.
still
It's just
talking
it's
about
just a
the
minor
money.
digression
It's
now.
still part
Yeah,
of it. We're still talking about
it's a
money.
minor digression.
Because this is a very integral part of the money that we are talking about. Tomorrow, when you go on social media, this conversation will still come up. This is the reason why some people have decided that they are not going to church any longer, because they feel like somebody's collecting their money and keeping it in their pocket. And as we begin to run out, there's another thing that also occurs to my mind in terms of giving, the giving culture. And I know that it's not easy to be giving people money, but I believe that a lot of people have come to the concept because I saw something online and I was trying to argue with the person. The person said, "Oh, that you should continue giving even though it doesn't." And because okay, yeah, the person said you should give so that you get something in return. That it has it has been something that has always worked for them. That when they give people something, to come back to them somehow. And I replied the person that that's not giving. As far as I'm concerned, you are just doing it
Investment.
because you want something in return. You are not so different from the pastor that is preaching to the congregation that they should come and drop money so that they will get something in return. So that means you are giving me something because in future you expect that some kind of law of attraction
Karma.
or karma, and then you get your money back. No, you want to give somebody a gift of a car. Give the person a gift and forget about whether you earn something or not from the person. What about if the person doesn't say thank you? You want to kill yourself.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
person doesn't say
exactly.
thank
Yeah,
you.
the
Give
person
someone
doesn't
a gift.
appreciate-
Some people don't even appreciate. They will
Or
not
the
even
person
say thank
says,
you.
see what
Have
you
give-
bring come.
Do you understand? Have
Eh.
you given somebody something and they don't appreciate you? So you know, so because I give this guy something, this guy did not.
The investment is not
The investment is not
yielding
yielding
returns.
returns. Yes.
Because that's just what
Basically,
it
that's
is.
what it is. Yeah, I mean, if you give with expectations, it's an investment.
So I don't think that people should be giving with expecting something. It should not give if you want to give. Don't expect something in return.
Most times, it backfires because there are situations where people you do not expect come through. Like as a human being, that usually happens. So if you are now going around with a little folder and a barrel saying, "Oh, I gave this person 100,000,"
Market.
and I'll mark it. Okay, I'll get those people that did for you. When
marking it.
that they
Yeah,
marking it,
yeah.
have you paid all of them back? Starting with, all those who they call angel guardians, or when you were in a very tight spot, and those people said they don't even bother wanting to know your name. They just help you and move on.
Well, you know that if we're talking about giving, forgive me for always going to the Christian perspective.
Yeah.
You do know that God gave his son, and it wasn't unconditional, right?
Yeah, it wasn't on any
Yeah,
condition.
of course, it wasn't unconditional. I gave you my son for you to give me your soul. If you don't give me your soul, well, that's hell for you. Basically. Yeah, that's the very purpose of giving him his son. I mean, if you go back to the story of Exodus, when God approached Pharaoh through Moses, what he told Pharaoh was, let my people go so that they will go and serve me. Do you understand this?
Yeah.
It wasn't some freedom, we're now free people. No. In fact, if you read the book of Exodus and then you move to Leviticus, you would see that the Israelites were very much, I would say, in some kind of doctrinal chains where they had to, stick to certain things. If you don't stick to this, it's death. Now, if you go to the story of Aaron's sons, Nadab and Abihu, now, there was some times after they had been consecrated as priests for the Lord, they went into the holy tent. And then I think this should be somewhere in, don't know whether Leviticus, now Leviticus 6 or thereabout. So they went to the holy tent and then they offered some kind of sacrifice to God through fire or some kind of fire sacrifice to God. Instantly, they were struck dead. Reminding them that, see, there are principles. This is not Egypt. This is not where you wake up in the morning and drink wine till the end of the day and you have as much sex as possible. This is different. You serve me now, nigga. I own you. So you do the stuff I want the way I want you to do it. If you fail to do it the way I want you to do it, you die. God also told Aaron, after killing his two sons, he told him, if you don't do the way I want you to do it, you will die like your sons. People don't read the Bible. That's the most painful thing. People don't read the Bible for what it is. They like to believe the words of their pastors. Nothing, well, we're talking about giving here. Nothing in the Bible that was ever given, I like to think so, absolutely nothing in the Bible that was ever given was free. Nothing was free. Not God's love, not Christ's death, not Jesus Christ telling the Samaritan woman about her husband. All those things were very much intentional, not maliciously intentional, of course. They were intentional for the purpose of, I've told you something now. Imagine me telling you something that you know that nobody knows. Maybe it's just you and a friend that you did something. The next thing that's going to come to your head is, and then I give you a pathway like, you know what, if you followed me right now, I could wash away whatever you think is a guilt.
Show your sins.
maybe he has told you that he's guilty of something. And then after telling me that stuff, you feel better. You're going to go and meet him and be like, yo, when I told this guy this stuff and he said these things to me, I felt better. So why don't you maybe you meet him? I could organize something like for you guys to meet and talk about this stuff. So it was intentional. Those miracles, everything he was doing for all those people, they were very much intentional for the very purpose of expanding the kingdom to the very ends of the earth.
So what you're saying, if I'm getting you correctly,
Yes.
is that it is okay to have expectations when given.
Yes, it is.
So at what point is it, will I say, what point do you think? Do you think it's all the time?
No, it's not. That's the
So
thing. It shouldn't be.
At what point do people not cross a certain line?
I think that when it gets to the point where you now start keeping notes, keeping tabs, where I gave you 50 million naira on so date, you're supposed to give me back because I am in trouble.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Like the moment you start getting dependent on people for the help you render to them, then perhaps the expectations or you giving has no longer, it's no longer within those very parameters that should define what you should expect from somebody when giving the person something. I don't know if you get my point.
That angle is quite valid. I mean, however, if we're looking at it, that's like if you depend on that.
Yeah.
I would love to look at it from the angle of health and mental health,
Yeah.
happiness, which is what
We're talking about, yeah.
You, for your mental health, I wouldn't advise depending on those things. When you give, there's a happiness. There's a happy dopamine that is for those that genuinely like
To
giving.
give, yeah.
Not those that the thought of giving used to give them heart attack.
Yeah, they are stingy people now. That's normal. No?
Not just stingy
Well, I don't
people. The
blame them
thought
if
of
they are stingy.
you know that
Yeah, of course.
No, you
Things
can't blame
are,
them if they are stingy.
yeah, you really can't blame people.
Some
for
people,
that.
they've gone through.
Yeah, they've gone through a
and
lot.
they don't feel like
You know-
giving anybody,
you know
and
some
that's their
people
own
have this
prerogative.
mindset
And that does
that-
not mean that they will not be rich because they've not
Of
given.
course,
It does not mean.
you know have this mindset that 1 naira out of 1 million is no longer 1 million.
True.
So when they think of removing that 1 naira from that 1 million, it's not going to happen, right? But that's again not the point. For me, I'm looking at it from the angle of, mental health, people's thought process, happiness. At the end of the day, I have seen a lot of unhappiness and depression come up from, this level of unrealistic expectancy, especially when it's not something that was communicated at the point of the exchange.
Yeah.
So you did not communicate that, Oga, I'm giving you now. When it's raining in my own place, return my umbrella. Those kinds of things. You just said, it's raining. I would love to give to you. And then you enjoyed the dopamine that came out from it. And they gave you your umbrella and said, thank you, God will bless you. You took all the prayers, you took all the exhortations. And then it starts raining in your place. You don't have another umbrella. Then you go and knock.
Give me back my umbrella. Okay?
That umbrella I gave you 5 years ago.
Give me back.
I want it.
I don't
now.
think
The
that's
person is
right.
Like, I want it. Like the person is like, excuse you didn't
Excuse
tell
you?
me. First off, it becomes extremely stressful, or you start scheming and finding
Ways, yeah.
to make sure that you get it back, in similar coin, and it's only about a matter of time before you join the give gang of people are not grateful. Too many ungrateful people all around the place.
Because how would you even know ungrateful people if you don't go about asking?
Looking for ungratefulness
exactly.
in the high places.
Well, the truth is that if I give you money and you're my guy, and I give you money, and I'm not doing so well, and I actually helped you to get to where you are, and for some reason I'm not so great at where I am, and I reached out to you, I may actually have an expectation that you're supposed to help me.
Okay, now that's because you are not doing that because when you invested.
No, I didn't give you the
Life
money
just
that.
happened.
Yeah, life just happens.
Yeah,
Here's
life
I'm
what
not going
now
to put
here's
it
what,
to you.
Here's what becomes a problem. Most people in that situation, they reach out to that person.
Yeah.
On the assumption that the person is now well off. So the person should.
No, I don't
Yeah,
agree with
but
that.
you get what I'm
I don't
saying.
agree with that.
Now, but the thing is, you don't know the state of that person at that
moment,
particular
that
time.
moment.
Maybe that person normally would be able to solve your problem. But you see, the higher you go in the economic scale, the higher your expenses and the higher your problems.
Yeah, true,
Right?
true.
So maybe you are facing a 500,000 problem and that person is in a
Maybe like
50
20 million,
deal,
yeah, or yeah.
right? 50 million igbese, and the person is trying to figure out how to, and you are all over the place. You are coming with the expectancy, and then before you know, you go, all these people I helped when they were nothing. they did not come through. And the good thing, or not so great thing about takers is that I've never seen anybody died from not taking. Once you decide that you've taken, right? Once you decide that, like, how do I put it? When you decide that, oh, I'm sorry, I might not be able to go through, the taker is still alive. Nothing happens to them. They move on to the next person.
Yeah,
right?
they're like parasites, right?
And it's okay for you to draw that line because
They suck your blood. Once they're
Yeah.
done, like leeches.
Yeah.
Once they fattened up, you die off, they move to the next person.
Yeah. All right. So, as we conclude, I want to talk about something crucial, right? Which is, can money buy happiness? Can money really buy happiness? We see a lot of people who have money and they are not happy. Why is it that? I mean, if money is the goal, why are you not happy? Why are you
Tito,
not
tell
happy?
us. What's your thought process on that, bro?
Allow me to think a minute. Because I think that, like I said, money grants access. And
Access to what?
access to everything.
Really?
If you're wealthy, you're God.
Really?
You're the representation of
And rich
God.
people still die?
Well, I'm not talking about it from an immortal perspective here. I'm talking about it from, and yes, maybe I am talking about it from
Money is physical.
an immortal perspective. Try to look at some of the things I say from a metaphorical perspective. I don't talk things in a literal sense. Now, maybe yes, money may be immortal because the likes of John D. Rockefeller and perhaps when Elon Musk passes will be remembered basically for the things they achieved because of money, what money allowed them to achieve. Now, back to the question of whether money can buy happiness. Well, like you said, I think the premise was that people are rich and then they are still unhappy. Why? Even when they have money. Well, the answer is that there's something called a hedonistic treadmill. Yeah? That's when you get to all the money you can acquire, and then there's a baseline. Say, for example, my father was recently promoted to the rank of a venerable. That was some weeks back, thereabout.
Congratulations, though.
Yeah, thank you. So I felt this sort of happiness, man. I was so happy. Unlike me, I picked up my phone and I typed something out of the happiness. I typed congratulations to Pops, he's the most hardworking nigga I know. Yo, blah blah blah. I posted it. Then as soon as I was going, I was like, wait, hold on. What the fuck did I just do, man? Like, I got to that baseline of the happiness had disappeared. And I was like, fuck no, I don't usually post this kind of stuff. So I deleted it immediately. So that's telling me that there is a baseline for happiness. Now you're promoted at work. You feel happy, maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks. You've built your house. Something's happened for you. You've finally given birth after waiting for so long. So you're happy when that child is there. What happens when the child goes to school? No, you're going to return back to that baseline level of happiness. So it shows you that money, though, can grant you some of the many things you want. I mean, let's face it, you actually need money to access a whole lot of things that can make you happy. If going on a vacation to Bahamas is a goal that will make you happy, you can't go to Bahamas with Oga, beg, help me now. I won't go Bahamas. May you show me love. Get the fuck out of here, man. Nobody's gonna answer you. But if you have the money, of course you can get to Bahamas. But then you get to Bahamas, you see people that have spent their entire lives there. So what happens?
And they don't even appreciate it as much as
Exactly. So you want to go to Paris, you want to go to the Eiffel Tower. There are people that live in the Eiffel Tower. I mean, there are hotels that just look every morning they wake up, they look at the Eiffel Tower like, yeah, this fucking structure is still here. The fuck? And then you come here and you're locking your love padlocks on the Eiffel Tower with your partner, writing till we meet again, blah blah blah. And people are like, yeah, we did this shit and we still broke up. So what? So we've gone there, we've done all that stuff, and yeah, we even maybe did a blood covenant on the Eiffel Tower to keep us together. And yeah, we still broke up. She left me. Yeah, she leaves you.
Or after proposing,
After proposing,
that divorce 1 year later.
and he still took back the ring, and she took everything. So are you still going to remember the time when you proposed and then feel better versus now when you're in the midst of a divorce and you're living in your mother's basement after she has taken everything from you?
Yeah.
So you need to understand that you have to fight to get yourself right within. The battle is within.
Oof.
Not money. Money will only this is money now. I mean, this whole place is money. I have wishes. I sometimes have wishes to maybe talk to people about how I feel. And then I remember that, yeah, fuck, nigga, you're fucking broke, man. You can't do it. And then I just realized, okay, cool. Maybe when I get to the future, I'll be able to afford it. That's what money does. Money allows you to be able to achieve your dreams
At that particular
at that
time,
particular time. Now you've achieved your dreams. Now you've gotten that podcast session you want. Now what? Everything you want has happened. Now what? What are you going to do with yourself now? You have all the money in the world. You've finally gotten all the things you've hoped for. What are you going to do? Are you still going to be happy? Some days back, I had like, when was that, Save? Can't remember. I think about 4 days ago. I saw this very short 2 odds on Sportybet. And I was like, yo, let me just take my 100K now and just fire it. That was like one of the biggest money in one of my account. I just put it. When I woke up, everything had gone. So what am I supposed to do then? If I had hope that money was my strong point,
a strong point.
what exactly am I supposed to do now that the money is no longer there? Because money can't disappear. Studies have shown from so many people in the past who in get them that year now, you know get them again. So what are they doing with themselves now that you no longer have money? And then let's even talk about the fact that there are people who don't have money. Now look at the poor people. What do you define happiness as? Because happiness is very much subjective.
Yes.
Happiness is subjective. So the poor man, for the poor man who has no means to, go to Bahamas and do all those things, happiness is him coming back from the day's work and climbing his wife. That is his own happiness. Happiness is seeing his 9 or 10 children that he cannot feed come and welcome him and call him daddy, daddy, daddy. He's happy. That is his own happiness. But for somebody who maybe is 45 and unmarried, her own happiness is that she was able to stand up to her parents who wanted to force her to marry somebody that she doesn't want to marry. And she's unmarried and she's happy. There are actually people who are unmarried and they're happy. Yeah. Even though society might not want to accept it that there are people who are unmarried. There are people.
It's not compulsory even married. Paul even said so.
Yeah, there are women who are unmarried and they're happy. And the very fact that they were able to tell double fuck yous to their parents that, yo, I didn't marry who I wanted to marry. And I'm happy and I'm taking care of myself. That's a source of happiness for them. So those people don't even need money to be happy. The very fact that they were able to be rebellious and succeed in that line of being rebellious, they're happy. I'm just saying that you need to find something within. There has to be something within. There has to be something that keeps you going even when the money is no longer there. Always realize that the money can finish. I'll share a personal story. I'll conclude with a personal story. I ventured into Forex somewhere around, I'll call that 222.
Is it Ethereum?
Yeah, I ventured into Forex. No, just normal Forex trading, USD, INC and all of that. I lent it for like 6 months and all the money I had, I just put it into Forex. And I would say I was doing quite well for myself, I was beginning to, like you mentioned, become independent. I had plans of, moving out. I was very young then. I had plans of moving out, plans to, capture the world, hold the world by its neck and force it to be what I wanted it to be. And just one day I saw this, there was some kind of analysis that came out. So I analyzed the market and then I picked some 4 currencies that I was going to trade that day. And some signals came out for some, as a person that's coming up in trading, you have to like follow certain people that you think that are better than you in the line. And I saw certain signals and I was like, okay, why don't I just put some money in this stuff? I think the total money I had then I had saved then was like 2,500, like $20K, $500. Yeah, that accumulated and still accumulating. So then I put it. I thought I was in my demo account.
Oh shoot!
I thought I was trading with my demo account. So I poured everything in. That it's demo now. Fuck GK, it's not real money. So I put everything in. You move my man because basically, just like betting, once you've keyed in money, you just forget about it. It's gone. If it's going to go, it's going to go. If it's not going to go, well, good luck to you. So I keyed the money in and I just forgot about it. Only for me to now check. Jesus Christ. And I saw that virtually everything I had suffered, slave to work for like a year plus, had disappeared.
No wonder you said earlier that money disappears.
I was ravaged. Like nothing could calm me down that day. I felt like my mind was going crazy because what do you mean that I no longer have any money again? Like this is basically everything I've built in my life. Yeah. Plus 1 or 2 other people's money that they've seen me posting that this guy they trade, more give him money. Where do you expect me to come up from and tell somebody who expects me to give him ₦1 million tomorrow that I'm going to get his money from? Yeah. That was devastating. It took me It took me time to come out from that state, that depression that came, because that's what money does to you. It makes you feel
When
like
you depend
yeah,
on
it
money
makes you
for
feel
your
like you can conquer the world. Oh fuck this, waiting be this. How much this guy they talk 100K? Give him now. Like you're confident now. Money day now. Money day.
money
So
gives confidence.
so why you they talk too much, boss? How much be your money? 50K. Take they go your way. So you mean all of that is going to stop? I will no longer be able to go out and see what I like and buy it. I will no longer be able to say, okay, you know what? Let me just go down to this hotel and just chill there and just come back in the evening or come back the next day or come back 3 days later. And that was a very difficult period for me because that was when I had to face myself to accept the truth that I had placed money as my God. I placed it at something
And
that
that
because
experience needed to happen very early.
yeah, and it needed to happen for me because I place money as a god. I place money as something that because I mean whatever sits at the top of your hierarchy is God to you.
Yeah.
So I placed money as my god and I was worshiping it with the very things I was living, the way I was living. You know,
Yeah.
no relationship, no connection with people, just chase money every day, every day, every day, every day, and then that happened. And then I began to realize that okay, my mom does come and tell me good morning every morning. You know, I began to realize that my sister used to come and check up on me in the morning. I began to realize that, you know, I have friends who text me, who tell me, how are you doing? I started seeing a whole lot of unread messages. Unread. Like, everything started to, you know,
Became clearer.
unravel. Like, yo. And I would say that was where I found God. Because that was where I saw that, well, I'd been living a lie. And the truth is, if you face yourself and tell yourself the very truth of your existence, you will weep. You will weep.
Jesus wept.
Yeah. If you face yourself and tell yourself the truth, you know, because the thing is, when you know the truth and the truth will set you free. And that was when the truth set me free that money cannot give you that confidence you're looking for. Money can't give you that happiness you're looking for. And so I faced myself and I wept for a day or two and I cleaned my tears and I started walking it back. And gradually, I'm not doing badly for myself, but I'm never going back into Forex because that was a very
It was a
terrible
traumatic experience.
terrible experience that I don't want to ever experience something giving me that much power and then disappearing in a twinkle of an eye. So that's just my experience with money and happiness. You need to find something everlasting
Yeah.
to be able to navigate this life. You have to find that very thing which when you're doing it, the existential challenges of life disappears.
Purpose.
Yeah, purpose, exactly. And for me, that was even when I even discovered that I could actually write. Because each time, I don't want to point to somebody in this room who would actually post like, guy, wait till they do you. Why they post all these kind of things? And I'll be like, well, fuck you, nigga. You don't understand what I'm going through. And I'll post something like, God, so now maybe this. And you see people like, I'll write it so stylistically. And people will be laughing. I'm like, okay, maybe I can actually write. And then I started writing stuff and I'll post it out to people and be like, guy, this thing is so funny. Now you write this thing. I'm like, yeah. From there, I started getting gigs. Alpha, help me write this now. Alpha, this my babe, they worry me. Oh. If you just help me write one thing, it's sweet. And then I'll write it for them. They'll give it. And the guy will be like, oh, man, you bad guy. Oh, this is supposed to do.
Yeah.
And that was exactly how
And then you found your purpose.
Exactly. That was how I found my purpose.
But that's because you looked within.
I looked within.
Yeah.
So the thing is, you have to look within and then discover that money is not the purpose. Money is what comes as a result of you facing your purpose. So you face your purpose, you find your purpose, face it, and if you face it as much as you can face it, then you will get the money.
Respective to what you just said, right?
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
Like you had your own road to Damascus moment.
Of course.
And I think the best gift that can happen to anyone is to go through that road.
Exactly.
If you have not been through that road, you will not know what you're missing.
At all.
Some people discovered such at 70, some at 80. But whenever you do discover that, acknowledge and be grateful for that.
Of course.
Because that only can actually be the true source of your happiness.
True.
Money is supposed to give you freedom. But you see, when you don't even know that the money is supposed to just give you freedom and not happiness, it becomes a problem.
Exactly.
Because you now assume that money is
That's
the source of
that's
your
source of
happiness.
your happiness. Yeah.
But money is supposed to give you freedom to be happy.
Yeah.
And that's why you have a lot of rich people that aren't happy.
Yeah.
Because they're tying their happiness to the next credit alert, to the next monthly report, and then you have people that don't have as much and they're so fulfilled, they're so happy, you're like, well, what is this guy
You meet them, they
drinking?
are so
They are so
so full of life.
Much more than the person that we
Yeah.
all know has
Yeah.
richer account.
So I mean, a lot of introspection is needed
Yeah.
as an individual, and that would influence a lot of the happiness that you want for yourself.
Yeah.
While money is good,
Yeah.
it's fleeting and it can change at any time. Money grows wings.
Yeah.
What happens if tomorrow that $10,000 that you have, that you think you have in your bank account, you don't see it again? What happens? Are you going to go crazy?
Or it just
and-
stays in the bank and is losing value.
are you going to go crazy and you're going to go insane, and the next thing we see that you
Yeah, I
lose?
went
Do you
crazy, then
understand?
I
So,
came back.
money is good, yes, but at the end of the day, it can only help you get to a certain point.
Yeah.
Because when you say, "Oh, I'm using a Toyota Camry," you buy a Toyota, you buy a Lexus. I say, "Oh, this Lexus." Before you know, I'm tired. I think I need to buy the next 2020 or 2024 car. So
That's tying your happiness to material things.
exactly. So you're
that's
now
worse.
you're now having to work more harder to attain the
goal, yeah.
goal again. So the goal is, oh, I want to penthouse. That's
But
my next
it's
goal.
okay to have such
No,
materialistic
it's okay,
goals.
but when you now tie it to it, because when you eventually get the penthouse,
What else?
There's nothing bad in
which
rewarding
tends-
yourself.
No, there's
it tends
absolutely
to
nothing
happen when
bad.
you reward yourself. It tends to happen. You can intertwine it and think it is happiness. Like you can how do I say it? You can mix it up and think it's happiness, because for you it's bringing you joy.
Yeah, you feel good.
Even
Yeah.
though it's a reward for work, wages or salaries are a reward for work, but you feel like it is a reward when it's supposed to be a reward. You're saying it is happiness. So you keep saying, "Oh, I think I can make myself more happy by getting this more thing, getting more thing." But it's just reward for the work that you do. If you want to be happy, there are things that you need to do to ensure that you are happy. It's a state of mind. At the end of the day, for our viewers, just for them to for you to understand that it's a state of mind. The happiness is a state of mind.
True.
So if you are not in that state of mind yet, if you've not got into the plateau, right, maybe it will be time for you to think about how you can move from one place to another. And that brings us to the end of this quite interesting episode.
Money can buy and money cannot buy. Depends on your state of mind.
Yes, depends on your state of mind. Exactly.
To be or not to be.
So
To be or not to be.
yes, thank you so much, Tito, for joining us.
Yeah, welcome anytime.
Yeah, you shared so many interesting facts. You shared your personal experience. You shared your personal story, and I want to believe that even if you're listening, it's not, even if you don't hear everything, I think that you'll be able to take one thing home.
Yeah, sure.
If you're able to take one thing home and think about it and realize, what can I do after hearing this? So thank you, everyone. Thank you to our crew, our team members. Thank you to my co-host and Tito as well. Thank you once again.
Yeah,
And
welcome.
don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to share. Don't forget to leave a comment after you finish watching the video, so that we can respond to you. If there are questions that you feel like we can ask as well, then you can leave it in the comment section and then we would answer you. So thank you once again to everyone. It was an awesome time. We'll see you on our next episode, and we would like to raise a glass, right, as a tradition. We'd like to raise a glass to letting everyone know that your happiness at the end of the day is a state of mind.
Sure it is.
I mean, that's my point of view, and I'm sure it's our point of view here. Some people's happiness is bank alert, and it's fine for them too.
I see credit alert too.
Of course, you feel happy once
I
you.
feel happy.
Why not?
But
now?
you find out that after the credit
credit alert,
has
yeah,
entered,
yeah, you get
now
back
be
to
like,
your baseline level of happiness.
exactly what we were saying. I'm like, that was not really the
Especially-
credit alert was not really the problem. It was your state of mind.
Especially when you start doing transfers, all these backlog transfers you're supposed to do,
alert.
and then you're like,
Then you now go back to status.
wait, be all this? Like all the money is already out. So
Raise a glass of wine, anything you want. Raise a glass of vodka, raise a glass of whiskey, raise a glass of wine, anything you want.